The fact that by the third episode of Headhunted in Another World, we already got cannibalisms. Wow, wasn't expecting that. Now, granted, did they make it out to be something crazy? No. In fact, a lot of people might even try to argue this wasn't cannibalism, and to those people, I say you're dead ass wrong. Because if we as people, humans, had a kind of creature that looked very similar to humans, even if technically it's not human, and we ate that would be considered cannibalism. So seeing these boar people, so that we have demons, we have demi-humans, so there's like deer people, there's gonna be tiger people, and then there's this. I look at them, I'm like, huh, that snout looks oddly similar to this big ass hell boar thing we killed. Be real odd if they ate that too, and oh boy golly, did they eat it too. I think it's hilarious. Don't get it twisted, but that's messed, man. Just the like, I don't know. It's just, I kind of wanted at least one of them to just kind of raise an eyebrow. Now, granted, our boy raised an eyebrow, but I kind of wish one of the boar people too were like, hey, isn't it kind of weird that we kind of look like the thing we're eating? Yes, technically, they probably count as different, but if something has your face and you're eating it, and it's not in the bedroom fun times, that's cannibalism, boys. And the fact that cannibalism wasn't even the craziest thing, we already technically have a marriage proposal by the third episode. Now, granted, did our boy know he proposed to Umandra? No, but Uchimura, he made some moves, and just the casual realization that these two have that she's like, God damn it, he's seen me as a nympho, and he realizes that he hasn't been complimenting her body because demons have a different way of expressing their power, which is via their muscles and, showing off skin. This show just keeps getting better. I gotta be honest, this was easily the best out of the 3 episodes, and no doubt in my mind about that. Of course, if you want to see my full thoughts to these episodes, I do have a Patreon where we got those full live reactions available exclusively over there. This was a good episode. I assumed this show was gonna function like every episode we'd get like a new little mission, a new negotiation we'd have to do. And maybe some of those negotiations would take multiple episodes, but I figured that was the structure. And episode 3 actually broke away from the formula that the first 2 episodes laid out, which is, yes, we will have negotiations, but we can also have episodes like this, which is actually very crucial to getting the characters to bond. Before really getting to know the other demon generals, it's actually a pretty decent idea to give episode 3 just these two kind of hanging out, having a bit of falling out, because, and it actually brings up a concept you don't always see, which is, if you're going to be summoned into a new world and you're dealing with a completely different species, yeah, there's probably going to be some cultural differences, and most likely what a human's like, hey, when he brings up the fact that she should cover up more, it's not even about being a prude here, he's simply being like, hey, as someone who's fighting these very dangerous things, you probably should cover up more so you're actually protected, which is a reasonable assumption. I mean, I make it myself when I'm looking at some of these warriors sometime. I'm like, yeah, they may be eye candy, but practically their stomach is wide open to be attacked. Like, they probably should cover that up more. Where now we know on the demon side, it's actually a whole thing. Like, that's how they get across their strength. Like, demons are very prideful, and it's not even just the girls, it's the boys too. We see that muscles and showing off what you have. Of course, I'm sure some demons are nymphos and want to show the whole package, but the idea of leaving what at face value looks to be a lot of exposed skin, which could easily get them killed if they're, they make an accident when trying to defend, is actually them getting across, and it's a kind of like a boasting, like, look how strong I am. So, like, yeah, I actually really appreciate that they did it. Sure, the author just invented a very convenient way to allow fan service in the show for narrative reasons, but actually the explanation and the idea that it's such a disconnect between species is actually a really cool thing, and I love the fact that after her storming off sequence, when Alulu is just like, what the hell, who the hell is this? She comes and hugs her, and you can see just how heartbroken she is, because she's like, God damn it, like, this whole time, like, I've been trying to, show off and get compliments, and I might have been ruining my chances this entire time. And obviously, when he gets this magic stone as, like, a reward for all the good things he's been doing, he goes and gives it to her because, it's a nice gesture. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do this without her. But as soon as I saw him get down on one knee, I was like, we already had a misunderstanding about her clothes. We're totally just casually doing a marriage proposal. And she didn't say no. She just said, do it in private and do it romantically. So props to our boy. But yeah, this was, I don't know, it just, The comedy was on point. They actually did a surprising amount of world building for, the demons and, kind of like culture significance for things. And honestly, I love the idea that, I appreciate too that our boy did have a reaction when he's like kind of looking at these two. Like, he's like, wait a second. They kind of look like pigs. This is a big ass pig. Am I the only one getting a little sussed out by this? I appreciate it. But I do appreciate the fact that this show, it has an identity that is both serious and silly all in one. The serious comes from the negotiations and like doing the political side of the show, but the individual interactions are just absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, I got it wrong. I thought the solution was going to be that she would like come meet up with him and like maybe be dressed in a business suit, and he would run up to her almost butt ass naked to show that he understands their culture, and there'd be a big misunderstanding. Instead, we actually just got a very nice, simple, I think your body's sexy. I didn't mean to look like a nympho. And it's just an adorable misunderstanding. As much as I think giant tall goddess Olulu is a great character, I do think Amandra is probably one of the best design characters of this season, and I think these two would make a really adorable couple. I mean, he's going to be surrounded by women. The opening says as much, and if the Demon Lord does actually turn out to be a woman underneath that armor, like the opening's implying, I mean, he's surrounded by women for days. But I think Omandra is, there's something nice about their dynamic, and I really enjoyed it. It's cute. And while this definitely isn't, like, the best produced show of the season, I think the art direction they chose really lets the comedy scenes pop when characters do give those exaggerated reactions, or even in the case of fiery rage or emotionally distraught, it does have some really good looking moments. I think the best looking thing in the show is unironically our girl Amandra, because there's something about her character design, like she is consistently a sharply drawn character, and I just feel like they refuse to let her character model dip. Given that she's literally dedicated the entire ending song, I think people on the production committee just really like this character, and they want to make sure no matter how mediocre some shots might look in this show, that she gets the full attention before anyone else, which honestly respect if that's the case. But yeah, I like this episode the most out of the three. I've enjoyed all three episodes, but the more I see what they're trying to accomplish with this almost slice of life workplace series just set in a demon world, the more I like it. But goddamn, if I see a deer person in this world eat venison, I'm gonna have to consider that some pretty messed up shit. Let me know what you thought of episode 3 down below, your favorite moment if you got any. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around, of course ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Top Cell, Jean-Philippe, C, Dennis Jensen, GMP Chemist, James Reinhardt, and we also have Abraham Volquet. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Have a good one.